call me every day. They want a provider, and they didn't want to work. So you had that, and you didn't want it.
I want it, but like I still like that. But there has to be a balance. You know what I mean? Like I want to be able to still like have my own hustle.
Welcome back to the channel. Kendra G had a call with a lady who was a single mother, and she said that she wanted a man who was making $100K, but that wasn't it. She said she wanted to be a housewife, but she also wanted to be a lawyer, something that we haven't heard in a while. Let's go ahead and get into it. This is a good topic, so let's not waste 1 minute.
T, like T as in Tom.
What did I say? I thought I said Tiana.
I thought she said Deanna.
No, Tiana.
Worries.
Okay. Tiana, you said in Atlanta?
Yes.
How old are you?
31.
31. What do you do for a living?
I work in insurance for the government.
Okay. Works in insurance. Do you have any kids?
I have two boys. They're 5 and 7.
Okay, 5 and 7. Both by the same man?
Yes.
Why y'all not together?
We were together for 11 years. We started dating when we were like 18. It turned into like a 7-year engagement, so I was just, went my separate way. He had like commitment issues. He was a mama's boy.
There's an issue in my community, the community that I grew up in, where the women have a really hard time not shading the men who they had kids with. It really reflects poorly on them. They always think it makes the man look bad, but it makes them look bad too.
Yeah. Y'all were engaged for 7 years?
Mm-hmm.
What was the final straw when you were like, year 7, we still not getting married?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. She said, yeah. 7 was her out child. What's the zodiac sign?
Stuff. He was controlling. He didn't want me to work, so I was a stay-at-home mom and girlfriend for that whole time.
So funny, there's women who want that life. They call me every day. They want a provider, and they didn't want to work. So you had that, and you didn't want it.
I want it, but like I still like that. But there has to be a balance. You know what I mean? Like I want to be able to still like have my own hustle. Like I wanted to go to law school instead. And he was like, I don't want to marry a lawyer. So.
And his problem is that's a very demanding career that'll probably take all of your time up. Where will you have time to serve a man or serve kids you might have? That's just something that he was thinking about. So far, doesn't sound like he had a problem. Let's get back into it.
You want to marry a lawyer?
Yeah, I was just like, well, then, I'll just go my separate way and go to law school.
Right. Okay, fair enough.
Bullshit.
I'm sorry to pause so much, but do you guys see how Kendra G just moved past that? You see how in woman land that, oh, you left a man you had 2 kids with just so that you can go to law school? Oh, fair enough. Like, it's not a big deal. Wrecked your family so that you can pursue your own thing. Sounds like modern woman logic to me. I'm just shocked that women are so comfortable speaking this way around each other and that women don't really offer any pushback. They just let it go.
You ain't lying.
Let's continue.
Tiana?
Yes.
Tiana? Atlanta, 31, Capricorn. She works in insurance. Mom to a 5 and a 7-year-old by the same man. I think I got it all. What kind of man are you looking for now?
Still the same provider, gentleman. I'm old-fashioned, so I grew up in a household with a housewife, so I still like that. But just more of like a balance.
Because that's confusing, because you literally said you had that, but you didn't like it. So what is you want a provider, but you said you just want to go to law school.
Well, someone that wants to provide for me in my environment of what I want to do.
Yeah. That's not going to happen.
Like I had an acting career, he canceled. I don't want someone that's insecure that is still a provider.
Anyway, get your black ass in the house.
So now a man who wants you to focus solely on him and the family you guys are building, that's insecurity. This is that typical modern woman logic. If you don't want to marry me and my goals, then you're an insecure man who isn't complete. It's a shaming tactic that is disgusting, and I'm tired of hearing it from new age women. Just because there aren't men who are out there looking for a woman who's also a boss, that doesn't mean that they're lesser men.
Are you not going to law school?
I am.
You're going to law school and you're an actress?
No, I had an acting career when I was 19. I was just saying he was insecure, so he basically distracted me from all of that and you know what I mean? Canceled a lot of things that I had going on because his insecurities.
Put you in your place.
Someone said it's not confusing. No, it is confusing, and I'm about to try to understand. So you're going to law school, which is a great job. So when you make your money from your law school, you want to just keep it, or you're not going to work? You said you wanted to provide.
Well, I mean, I believe that, like your wife can have $1 million, but that's haram. You know what I mean? You don't ever take from your wife. That's her money to take care of your children and do what she needs to do. Say something ever happens to you, now she's in a stable position where she can keep the family afloat.
Great. Good luck with that.
I'll be good luck.
Bye-bye.
So it is haram to take from your wife.
Now she's a part-time Muslim, just so that she can make sure that the man doesn't obligate her to do anything with the money that she earns. So now she's falling back on the Muslim religion and their ideals to make her crazy logic make sense.
Okay, so now somebody said I was confused. Now I'm getting better understanding. So as a lawyer, are you going to school to be a lawyer?
Yeah, but I would want to do like public servant work and help people that are less fortunate and can't afford good attorneys.
Okay, so basically all the money you make, you don't want any of that to be for the household. You want it to be in savings for a rainy day.
Correct.
Okay.
And retirement and, for the children, investments. That way, neither one of us have to work.
Okay.
That's my job.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I multiply things and make them better. You provide and keep everything going.
Okay. Okay. One more question that I think some men might have. So a lot of times when men are the providers paying all the bills, they want a woman to make sure she's cooking or having the food ready every night. Would you do that?
Yeah, I don't mind doing that.
Right.
Unless she's studying for the bar or pursuing a law career or trying to become a lawyer in the middle of everything that you've built with this woman. She might just flip and say, hey, babe, I want to be a lawyer. I know I just had your baby, but I want to be a lawyer. So now you got to take a baby shift and take a break from what you got going so that I can pursue my dreams now. And this is where a lot of those modern marriages start to fall apart.
Or are you Muslim?
No, I'm not. I just grew up with around a lot of Middle Eastern people when I was younger. So some parts of their culture I appreciate.
Okay. Now,
Oh my goodness. So not just in Christianity do we see this often. We're starting to see this with Muslim people. People who don't even practice these religions are online trying to hold men to standards based off of these religious guidelines. And you're not even religious. You're not even a Muslim talking about some haram. Let's get back into it.
you do have 2 boys. So when you go into the next scenario, so you want this man to provide for you and your 2 boys, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
I mean, they have a dad that provides for them, but
Well, you want a man. I mean, you're telling me you don't want to pay no bills. So so when you go into the next scenario, so you want this man to provide for you and your 2 boys, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
I mean, they have a dad that provides for them, but
Well, you want a man. I mean, you're telling me you don't want to pay no bills. So if you move into a household and this new guy who's not their father, he will be providing for them because he's paying all the bills in the house that they would be living in.
Correct.
Okay. That's what she desires. Now I'm gonna let you respond because there's gonna be some people and some men, or majority men, they're gonna say that, okay, you want me to provide for you and your 2 kids, and you make money and you keep it to yourself, and you actually had that with the children's dad and you didn't like it. So what would you say to the man that thinks that's kind of crazy?
I mean, maybe I'm just not your cup of tea.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
But maybe the kind of guy who deals with me is the kind of guy who's okay with things that don't make sense. We've been hearing this from women in these platforms since this type of content started getting popular again 5 years ago. We're starting to see women start to say, if you don't want to accept my ridiculous dating standards, then I'm just not for you. That's crazy.
Sounds like you have some issues where you didn't grow up seeing that, so you don't know what a real man and a real provider should be.
Stop it. Get some help.
Well, one would say a real man provides for his children, and your children technically are not his.
And they are provided for.
But you want him to provide for them too, because you want to go another dynamic in which he will be the sole provider. And you said you would have money, but you would keep your money for a rainy day. So you want his money to provide for you and your children, which are not technically his children.
I mean, I still did household things. Like, I will take care of, like, you pay for the roof, the major bills. I'll buy food and, like, household necessities and things of that nature. and things like the kids needed, I bought stuff like that. So it's like there's still a balance. It's not all just, you know what I mean? You're taking care of these kids when they have a father. So majority of stuff, you're just paying for the roof over their head. No one's asking you to pay for their sports and things of that nature.
It doesn't matter what the man is specifically paying for. If the man has to cover your kids in any way, he's providing for them. You guys see all the nitpicking that's going on? That when black women become single mothers, they try to act as if the guy who's coming in to raise their kid actually isn't coming in to raise their kid. They certainly want you to make the sacrifice, but they don't really want to give the credit up. This is why a lot of men should stay away from being stepfathers in today's day, because it's a very thankless job if you're doing it with a woman who hasn't been brought up right. This woman needs to go back to the father of her child. That's the moral of the story. She left him because he was a real man, a man who told her, you're not going to get my provision and my security and try to be a modern woman and try to go pursue a career and take your focus off of the commitment that you made to me. And she called him insecure for that. And she called any man who didn't agree with that a man who doesn't know what real men are and what real providers look like. It's a very childish and juvenile shaming tactic. But let me know what you guys think about this down in the comment section. Questions, comments, and concerns. Hit the subscribe button and notification bell to get notified every single time we post content just like this. I'll see you guys on the next one.